What up, though? Welcome to the episode of Sports Line with JLE, where we discuss sports like family. That's the theme song, Man Talk, of my first album, The JLE Experience, on music and copyright and muting on Facebook. Good conversation tonight on sports. Bill, well, get him his accolades. 8-time Super Bowl winner, 2-time as defense coordinator for the New York Giants and that vaunted defense with Lawrence Taylor. When you may have seen the former NFL clips of him saying, "You got a bunch of crazed dogs out here." Defense was ferocious. And 6 times Super Bowl winning head coach for the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick this week was denied the first ballot Hall of Fame opportunity. Created a very strong uproar with all of the sports shows and people in sports. 2020 Hall of Famer and former 2-time Super Bowl head coach, Dallas Cowboys winner, Jimmy Johnson, has said he's not going to go and protest. Everybody, if he has credentials to be there, they don't understand what is the issue. And I sat back and thought about, because it was brought up about Spygate, Deflategate. And I found interesting on how when they talked about it, it was in passing. Now, if you wasn't a teenager or an adult, early 2000s, the Patriots won 3 championships from 2001, 2004. After that, it had came out that they were filming their opponents' walkthroughs for the Super Bowl. Because players from some of the teams they beat were saying, and people were saying, "Oh, you got sour grapes, y'all lost, you tripping." They were saying in interviews that, okay, we neck and neck in the first half, and come second half, if we say Detroit ready for it, and that's a run play, they getting in a run defense. And then they might say go flat 2, and that's a pass play. They getting a pass defense. They saying to themselves, how in the hell do they know what this is? And that's where now Eric Mangini, who eventually left the team and became the head coach of the Jets, he the one that outed them, because he had played first time the Jets and Patriots playing, and he had, because you running with these cats. Hey, Bill, we were same team. I know we opposing coaches. Don't do your boy like that. And he did it to him. And he like, "Oh, you want to play?" And as Nino Brown said in New Jack City, "Hey, if I'm going down, we all going down." So he told Roger Goodell. They looked into it. And I remember watching the news story on ESPN. That's why I found it funny. ESPN on First Take, and other people were screaming bloody murder. How didn't he get in? Roger Goodell burned the evidence. Insiders at the time when they were talking to him had said it was so egregious how the New England Patriots filmed their opponents' walkthroughs. He burned it so it wouldn't get out. Go look it up. This ain't no fake news. He burned the evidence. That's how bad they cheated. They lost draft picks. They were fined over $500,000. And everybody act like that didn't happen. Like Eddie Murphy Raw, don't believe your lying eyes. Like, I watched the segment on ESPN when they said it was that bad, they burned the evidence. Jerome Bettis, the former running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, when he was an analyst on the ESPN show, said we just call them New England felons. Whenever some shady business going on, go look at New England. Because Bill Belichick came from the generation, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And this is what everybody, oh my God, let me grab my imaginary pearls. How dare they not put Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot? I'm shocked that these people had the guts to fall back and like, we ain't forgot what you did. Now, the conspiracy theorists are saying, what up to everybody that's watching the show? Appreciate you. They're saying, well, Robert Kraft has been pissed about that being stained on his organization, so he paying off people not to vote for him. I don't know how true that is. They saying they was beefed out for a while. I don't know how true that is. That's a lot of speculation. I watched the segment on ESPN when the insiders of the NFL at that time said Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, burned the evidence, the video footage of them filming their Super Bowl opponents' walkthroughs. That's how they knew what their signals was in the second half. This happened. That's why I can never say Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, because your first 3 titles to me don't count. Y'all cheated. The greatest quarterback, the Dark Knight himself, Joe Montana. I watched him win all 4 of his titles as a kid. 2 of them he came back to be Cincinnati for. But it's like, for some reason, because like wrestling, they were best for business, we're going to overlook 2001, 2004 Deflategate. I mean, my bad, Spygate. Then we do a remix years later, and I'm talking about Tom Brady after this. You get Deflategate. Now that one, the coach said, hey, talk to your man Tom on that one. I ain't got nothing about these footballs. And then, because they were best for business. Oh, man, I don't know, y'all tripping on these lowly workers deflating the footballs for the comfort of Tom Brady's hands. And I watched former Super Bowl and Hall of Famers Troy Aikman, Steve Young say on camera, do not sit up here and act like that does not give you an advantage when you deflate a football. Because if you can grip that boy, let me use this water bottle. If you can get a good grip like that, when you throw it to your receiver, he ain't going to have butterfingers. He's going to be gripping it, tucking it. You ain't knocking it out of his hand. That's a hell of an advantage. But they didn't press that hard on the Deflategate. Gave a little slap on the hand, kept it moving. I'm like, he's done like his daddy. Belichick said, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Hell, Tom, like, I'm going to get in when I fit in with it too. I'm skillet. I mean, respect to him being a last pick and working to become a great quarterback, but y'all were so good, y'all didn't need to do that. But he come from that old school era, Belichick, and passed down time. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. So now it's been speculation. Will they do the same to Tom Brady? Believe he's up next year for first ballot Hall of Fame. I would be impressed if they have the test, as the great Mick Foley once said, the testicular fortitude to not put Tom Brady in on first ballot as punishment for the dirt y'all was doing when y'all was running the NFL, winning Super Bowls. Because the media and all the people that vote tend to do, okay, you want to be on that bull jive? All right, we got you. We got you. We get you on the back end. When it's time you go to Hall of Fame, we're going to get you. Now, atrocity that happened and shout out to Shannon and Ocho on their show, talked about it. They changed the rules to keep Terrell Owens out on his first try. He got in after his third try. He's one of the top receivers of all time. Never got in trouble. Never did nothing. The only thing that he was known to do, he spoke his mind in locker rooms, and some teammates felt, or he was saying what they didn't say, and it divided the locker room, but he was speaking the truth. They talked about Philly. Issue he had there, you had quarterback Donovan McNabb trying to get money for the running back Westbrook. I believe that was his name. When it was time for T.O. to get a deal, he's quiet. So T.O., country boy, and I know some, they straight real with you to your face with it. Hey, why are you speaking on his behalf, but you won't look out for me? What's up with that? That's a fair assessment. And when you talk to Brian Darks, the other foreign player that we had love T.O. We didn't see nothing wrong with what he was doing. But you did have Skip Bayless and others calling him team obliterator, cancer in the locker room. So they changed the rules to include sideline antics as a reason not to put you in. Now, as great Allen Iverson said, we talking about practice, we talking about sideline. We ain't talking about players who had potential domestic violence cases, murder situations, potential sexual assault, all type of wild stuff going on with them. But we judge what you do on the field only. And they got in. But they changed the rule on the dude who never got in trouble. Only trouble he had, he spoke his mind when he saw someone right. And they made him wait on the third go-around to become a Hall of Famer. That's why he didn't go. Other people try to tell, like, you know, man, just let bygones bygones. I can understand him being pissed. Y'all changed the rules to keep me out. You say it's based on my stats. It's Jerry Rice, Randy, and T.O. with the top stats of receivers. You're supposed to get in. You don't care if you don't like the man or not. He got the stats. Put him in. Now, there's conversation about putting Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame. And that's just a dude with a 500 record. His only claim to fame is beating Tom Brady twice for a Super Bowl. That's Hall of Fame work. But people say Russell Wilson, who got better stats than him in a Super Bowl win, shouldn't be in. Come on, man. What are we talking about? So I do believe they're going to put Bill Belichick in. But that first ballot, that's where they get back. And I would not be shocked if Tom Brady don't get in his first go round, because he shouldn't. Y'all cheated. These are facts. And Tom Brady seemed to be a cool, likable guy, but y'all cheated to win. And ain't no telling with that Deflategate how much that affected anything. But on record, Gardell destroyed the evidence of Spygate from 2001, 2004 Super Bowl wins. It was that egregious. He didn't want no one to get it so it could be shown on how when all these players that played against them were talking on NFL shows like, man, you can call me sour grapes, you can call me whatever you want. But I know we had a different set of calls for the second half to run the game. And we running them, and they getting into the defensive schemes to stop it. How the hell they know what we call it? We had set play calls for the second half, first half. How can you make an adjustment if we say Transformers 2 and that's a run play? How do they know that's a run play? And I remember watching interviews. Marshall Faulk said, a few other people said, like, well, just because you want to say, oh, man, you just mad because you lost. Like, don't mean that he ain't got a point. If y'all had two separate sets of play calls in the first half against the Patriots and the second half, and they know what to do against the second half, y'all ain't even ran it yet. Y'all ain't even said the verbiage of it, and they know what defense to counter it. They not that. I mean, Bill Belichick and Patriots coach staff was great, but they ain't that great. They ain't mind readers. They ain't Professor X. But you filming them walkthroughs and all that's on there. Oh, okay. I mean, I remember vividly watching that ESPN. I was shocked that the insider at the time said he had, and they asked, like, what you say? He had to burn the tapes because it was that egregious. He didn't want it to get out. He didn't want no one to think the integrity of the NFL games is rigged like wrestling, like it's a storyline with Vegas and gambling and all that. So he destroyed it. Okay. So I'm not shocked 20-something years later, some of these people, all right, we're going to get our get back. We ain't forgot all that you was doing. The smoke is clear and settled, and we ain't forgot you was a cheater. You ain't getting the Hall of Fame on the first ballot with that. And if you did it to Bill, you should do it to Tom Brady. He was the quarterback in them cheating years. Now, I'm a firm believer. We say stand 10 toes on it. Get out there. Hey, I'm voter so-and-so. Yeah, they cheated. The commissioner burned it. Hell no, they're not going first round. No. You ain't going to get a reward on the first ballot for all that damn cheating you did. I don't care how much y'all love them. This is going in, and it will be put down. You went second ballot because y'all cheated. And we all knew it. We don't work for ESPN, so we ain't got to cover you and play nice. We ain't got to play politics. We in this room voting on, well, why we not going to put him in the first ballot? Some came, I assume someone else will. Like, nah, y'all were looking at either it's true Robert Kraft was beefing and paying some of y'all off, or I know it to be true, they cheated. And some of y'all looked at, nah, I can't let you on the first ballot with all that cheating. No. Now, interesting, Paul Allen, who died back in 2018, the owner of the Seahawks and Trailblazer of the NBA, the team will go up for sale after Super Bowl 60. His sister, the executive of the state, Jody Allen, is following his directives that after that, whoever wins, the teams get sold and the proceeds will go to charity. I help a lot of people with that bread. Now, because they switched up how to do the Super Bowl, it's after the Pro Bowl. The quarterbacks that are in the Super Bowl spots will have replacement. So now Joe Flacco gets in the Pro Bowl for his first time, which is interesting because he's with Cleveland early on. And Shedeur Sanders gets in and replaces Drake May. So that's on his belt. Now he can do some more work next year with his new coach to prove that he's worthy of. Because I'm pretty sure some say he shouldn't even got that. But we'll see. Now, brings me to the Super Bowl. And I do see why the Patriots defense is good, because Milton Williams, who won with the Eagles, plus you got Mike Vrabel, who won those first 3 Super Bowls. So you got championship pedigree. My Detroit Lions, pay attention. Someone that knows how to do it need to be on that team, coaching or playing. Just saying. That helps. As I've been picking on through the playoffs, because, if Bo Nix was there, I would have picked Denver to take on Seattle, as I first said, but I even the way he called that game, I didn't think it. So I picked the Patriots and Seahawks to make it. They made it to the Super Bowl. Now, earlier this season, there was a mural, and people are speculating, well, you had Drake and Darnold in the front, and like you already knew who was going to go. Like, I don't know how true that is. Not speculation with that. But it should be an interesting football game. Check it out. Because Super Bowl. The halftime entertainment will be Bad Bunny. He made some good music. But some of these Super Bowl halftimes just be too over the top. So I might check it out, might not. If I don't fall asleep on it, because my work schedule has changed. Now, I'm shocked and impressed with the NBA that we're getting close to the All-Star break, and my Pistons still number 1, 34-12. New York was down, but they moved back to the second spot, 29-18. Tied with Boston, who number 3 at 29-18. And Toronto still sitting at number 4 at 29-20. In the West, OKC 38-11. The Spurs 32-15. Hey, it took them in to rebuild, but they back. Denver 32-16 with Jokic coming back. And Houston 29-17. Now I gotta say they coach Udoka. He built that team up to win with Boston. So like he slowly working his magic with Houston. Now there's been talks that Giannis gonna want to trade or want out of there. There's been speculation, well, maybe Golden State get him. I don't think he'll go there. I mean, Golden State is starting to show that leadership there ain't what it was when they won titles. The dynasty dead. Steph is a hell of a player, but when I look back on them, they should have got rid of Draymond ass when he punched Jordan Poole. Right after they won that NBA title. Ever since they sided with Draymond, who was in the wrong, and I noticed when you watch that film, one of the teammates should have punched him in the face and pushed him out the way, but you didn't really see that. And I found that odd looking back on him, like, he stole on this dude who really wouldn't expect his teammate to hit him. And where's y'all other real leaders or enforcers that put him in check? And he didn't run that team through the ground with all the, like I concede to my former co-host Marte, his antics. It's some bullshit. He one of the reasons why that team is trash. And the management. Y'all should have been put him in check. Cut all that out. Then y'all get rid of Clay. Didn't show him the proper respect. He should have retired as a Warrior. Steph Curry, he should have been stepping up and speaking, in my opinion. If you the franchise of that team, you shouldn't be Mr. Go Along with the go along. No, Clay ain't going nowhere. Draymond, calm your ass down. That ain't cool. We don't need all that. We don't fight each other. Because they still has peace. And then this whole Kuminga thing, which really ain't been explained on why Steve Kerr has been shitting on boy. Which makes no sense. Like, the dude can play. He's contributing to get out there, but you don't want to play him. And this narrative that Steve Kerr is a good coach is the biggest piece of trash walking God's green earth. Mark Jackson trained up that team to become a championship squad. He did nothing. The proof in the pudding will be all the great young talent they got, coach them up. Y'all still be contending for titles, and they're not. So you ain't a great coach. For some reason you picking on certain young players like you doing with Kuminga, which is crazy. Because he don't fall in line with just everybody just follow behind Steph. The boy can play. Hell, if he can ball, hey, you run the second unit. Steph take a break, you get out here and get it. How hard is that? He should have to stand in the corner. Because y'all really ain't found that replacement for Clay. Jimmy Butler got hurt, unfortunately, but he ain't really been playing like playoff Jimmy when he played with Chicago or Miami. So I don't see no reason why Giannis want to go over there and play with them. They're a bottom feeder team right now. The Golden State Warriors are nowhere near close to being the top 4 team in the West. So why would Giannis go there? That would be stupid. Him going to that team ain't going to instantly move them past OKC or San Antonio. Hell, Denver or Houston. I'm not sure where I heard people say, no, we don't need him in Detroit. Trajan Land is doing a great job building what he's building here. You take your me self, because he became a me player, in my opinion, when he was talking to all that team, stay where you are. Then you start hearing stuff, you got your coach fired and all that, so go on be a me player like LeBron and all them. Go somewhere else. Don't come to Detroit. We don't need that over here. All we need you to be about playing your part and winning titles. That's it. It's about the team. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of teams that want him. Go to New York or somewhere. They'll take you. Stay away from Detroit. We good. We don't need you over here. Because when we was a bottom feeder, when no one talking about, I love to go play for Detroit. So don't come over here now because we looking like a team going to be contending for a title for the next few seasons. Nah. If you weren't with us when we was down, to come over here now when we looking pretty. Beat it. Giannis a hell of a talent. He had back issues. Don't need that. If anywhere I see him going, and I don't think this is groundbreaking, going to the Lakers. And this LeBron last year with my team, thank God. And all the stuff you hear coming out now, Rich Paul and all that, get them and all that drama off my team. I can see in the summer, he play out the rest of his season. And before July 1st, breaking news, Giannis is going to sign with the Lakers. That's my spoiler, as the great Paul Heyman would say. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the news this summer. Giannis in the Lakers uniform. But DeAndre Ayton, he ain't doing too much of nothing. They got a bunch of okay talent. No one really playing no real defense. Oddly, they were playing a little hard before LeBron came back. But you put him over to anchor the defense. I mean, Reeves and Luka give him the ball. So he still get his 20-something, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. And he get mad love being here. Well, being in LA. Plus all the opportunities for anything else he might want to do. And they always get a big man. So I wouldn't be shocked. Once LeBron exits the door, Giannis to the Lakers. And play out the rest of the season. Don't ask no trades. You can leave. This is the end of his contract. Leave. Matter of fact, let me verify. Is he still on the contract? Is this the last year? Let's see. Okay, so he's on a contract to 26-27 with a player option for 27-28. But he can do it in the summer. He ain't got to do it right now. Play out the rest of the season. Then come summertime. That way they can get the best deal for him. Lead the right way. Hey, we rebuilding. I want to go on. I'm leaving. Get the best deal for you so you can still keep doing your thing and I can go do my thing. I can see Giannis to the Lakers. They got some nice young talent they might want. Draft picks. I can see that. Because, I mean, when Phoenix sucked and we saw why, because all the talent they had, they gutted this to bring Kevin Durant there. So I don't think another team want to do the same mistake to bring Giannis there and gut their squad to get him. Nah, he need to add to it, not subtract everything. Or you just be where he is right now. So time will tell. But this weekend got that flag football Pro Bowl crap. Guess people watch it. I don't. I remember when they used to care about the All-Star Pro Bowl. Like, I don't even care for the NBA All-Star weekend no more because they used to care. Now these cats don't care. We'll see if they can get back to it. But yeah, those big stories this week I saw. Let's see what happened. Next week probably going to be a replay. And the season finale for this season 5 would be after the Super Bowl. Talk about who won. Take a week or two off and get back to season 6. Get ready for NBA Finals. And Major League Baseball playoffs coming. New episode JLE Lounge radio show tomorrow. It's in the air if it's going to be a replay or I do a live show, the interview show. And the new ground floor, we're going to talk about mental health check. That's important to talk about. periodically on the show. Like and subscribe to all the stuff on Middle Ground with JLE Network. I forgot to put that up here today. And more content to come. So hope y'all enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Hydrate if you're out here in these streets. Come back tomorrow. Till next time, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to purchase my latest products, my books and music, go to Amazon.com. I have new merchandise on the way. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with JLE Network. Thanks for coming.